G'day, guys. Welcome to a chat with Jay for the 1111 Spiritual Transit podcast. You know I'm in Australia with the kangaroos and the koalas, and I'm with my great friend. Now, we've been mates for a couple of years. This is Mr. Anu Nnaki. He's a spiritual coach and guide, and we met a couple of years ago, and he's been on the Life Theories show, and this man is incredible. Some of the theories he's got, look, you can say, mate, I've seen your praises so much over time, man. So he says it as it is, and he talks the talk, walks the walk. What more can I say? Welcome, Mr. Anu Nnaki. I'll call you. Is that if that's okay with you?
Yeah, well, I appreciate it. Thank you for having me on, and welcome as well.
Fantastic. Now, what the process here is, we have to get to know each other, but we already know each other. So what we're looking at today, my friend, is basically the world and the way the spirituality and I guess the awareness of people coming into their heart space, coming into their spirituality now, but also some of your theories with regards to you are blunt as anything. This, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a blunt session from this bloke. He's amazing. So, I mean, I still remember the Disney theory. I go, Disney, mate. He's not wrong. So let's start with that one, mate. I mean, I love that one because it usually puts people in their place. I love it. Let's talk about your Disney theory about relationships. Let's go. I'll go this as a guru, okay? Don't take this the wrong way, Mr. Anu Nnaki. I'll call you that way. He is a bit of in my word, I've used a lot of his philosophies in what he's done, just and taking away some of the knowledge that he has to use upon myself. Tell us about Disney. Go for it, and welcome.
All right. Well, the Disney fairy tale illusion. Now, I'm going to describe this very blunt, pardon my language, but again, I'm kind of blunt with this.
Absolutely.
The Disney fairy tale illusion, you could think of Cinderella, the classic Disney story. Okay. Happily ever after, swept off the feet. All right. You got to look at the reality of the Cinderella story. It is a woman miserable in her own life doing jack shit to get out of it and improve it. She is singing and dancing in her head, fantasizing about some dream person that's going to save her and sweep her off her feet and save her from her miserable life that she created herself. Okay, then you got a guy, handsome, tall, wealthy, all this and that. Sees a hot woman, doesn't know who the fuck she is, where she went, or anything, but he has to have her. That's the Disney fairy tale illusion. Now, fast forward to the dating scene. People don't date who the person is. They date that illusionary person they created in their mind of the perfect partner and relationship.
Can I butt in there? Can I butt in there for a minute? Keep going. No, sorry, mate. Sorry, I dropped out a little bit. Sorry, keep going. Sorry about that.
All right. Well, I was just going to say that contributes to almost 90% of breakups in the first 3 months.
Mate, I tell you, look, I'm guilty of that. And when I've worked in with I'm working with the shadow at the moment. So I actually looked within. And this is where I was talking. We've talked a lot about, and a lot of your blunt theories, which are fantastic, which is absolutely, in a lot of ways, just listen to what they're saying. Don't get offended by anything that anyone says, ladies and gentlemen. Just listen to what they have to say. It's called respect. And also, you will gain, even if you gain that 1%, you have a look at what they're doing. And also, I've also learned to turn things back on myself. So with this relationship thing, looking at the shadow, knowing where I was going, and I still went down that twin flame idea, and then I turned it back on myself and really looked inside myself. And that changed my life. It really did. And I'll credit you, mate. The 2 chats we've had, amazing. And some of the things you've been saying. So can you keep going with regards to that? You're telling us a lot about that with regards to men and women. I look at it totally differently. I look at those dating shows a lot differently. There's one dating show I will say, mate, Too Hot to Handle. An amazing dating show. You know what they do? They actually do exact opposite to what they do in other shows. You go in there, you go on, you're rooting around or whatever you think you want to do. They actually get you to look inside and look exactly what you are. What are you looking for? Connection spiritually. Look at the person. Have yourself number one. What do you think about that? That'd be good, something for you to look at. I think you'd really enjoy what they've done with it.
Well, you know me, I do a lot of research and I'm very familiar with that show. I would say that shows are finally they're dipping their toes on the right path.
Yep.
Okay. Dating isn't like fishing where you cast out your reel and you hope something bites and you're like, hey, it sticks. That's not dating at all. Dating apps, all that other stuff, that's what you're doing. You're throwing your line out like in fishing, trying to reel something in, and you hope that it's not garbage. Well, guess what? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be garbage. Why? Because you don't know even why you're dating. You don't know what
Amazing.
exactly you are looking for, what you are wanting, the quality and traits and values you even bring to the table in a relationship, let alone to know if that dynamic is compatible with somebody else's.
That's
And that
amazing.
is the Disney fairy tale. That is the problem with twin flames. Now, I'm going to say this right now because I mentioned Disney fairy tale and you also mentioned twin flame. The Disney fairy tale illusion got a new name. It's called twin flame. It's the exact same damn thing.
What do you?
A
Can I ask you? Can I ask you? I'm sorry. Can I ask you there? I'm sorry to cut you off there because I've been involved in the twin flame saga. What can you give us a little bit of an idea of what your reality to twin flame is? Sorry to cut you off there, but I think it's important to understand your definition because I've know you've said this before. So let's make it clear to our listeners.
All right. Now, my personal opinion, it's going to piss off a lot of people, but my personal opinion about twin flame, it's 2 words, bull and shit. Twin flame is supposed to be, it's actually comes from, I think it's around a 16th century poem that a very famous person wrote, talking about how your soul is incomplete until you find somebody that can make it whole. Okay. Fast forward that to the Disney fairy tale illusion of Cinderella, Snow White, all these other things. It is the same depiction. You are incomplete until somebody saves you and makes you whole. Now, last time I checked, when you look in the mirror, when you wake up in the morning, you're pretty damn whole yourself. There is nobody that can complete you except you, because only you are in control of every aspect about you mentally, emotionally, and physically, and most of all, on an energetic, spiritual level. Nobody can complete you. They can only complement what you are. They can only, 2 people combined, raise each other up to greater heights combined, or they could tear each other down. That is called compatibility. Twin flame, in my opinion, is bullshit.
That's fair. That is fair call. See, with my opinion, when I went through it and I look back, take away the concept of twin flame, but how I understood it and what it helped me with is actually see myself. I really turned everything upon myself, and that engaging in that cross soul, if you want to put it that way, made me look in the mirror and say,
Yep.
"What are you doing?" And that's a big thing. And I actually look at two things differently. Number one, relationships is one. Number two, shadow work. What you actually, and that's what really got me. I really went inside. You know who your friends are, mate. You know, you actually become more true and whole within yourself. You actually look into your heart, get out of your head and into here, and that's what the twin flame for me was. It's actually looking at yourself in the mirror because someone spiritually you're looking and going, I want those qualities within me. And those are the qualities that I have to work on to become a better person within this life to get everything I want, whether it's money or whatever. Let's get all that shit out of there. Let's look at what's in here. Am I not correct?
Yes, I mean, I'm the reason why I say twin flame is BS. That's because of the way mainstream depicted it.
That's right.
You are just great the way you are. You don't have to do any work. You don't have to repair yourself. And you're going to meet somebody that is your soulmate, your Disney fairy tale illusion, dream come true, your knight in shining armor. It's the same story that is on a revolving door. And that's why relationships tank and fail time and time again. Now, you said the key word about shadow work, and it's the one aspect that most people ignore the mirror.
That's
You have
exactly
to
right.
not only look at everything you got to heal that was external, you got to remember you have adaptive programming, defense mechanisms,
Bang,
coping mechanisms,
bang.
codependency that all came and transpired from your own interpretation of everything that transpired.
Amazing,
And that is
amazing
your memory.
words. Amazing words, mate. Amazing way you've put this. Why I've got this is laser. This is why we're mates, and this is why I've got this guy on. He doesn't talk BS. He tells it how it is. I love this guy. That's why I'm so excited to have him a one-on-one on this chat. So I want to just quickly go on about twin flame. Have you seen the video on the movie on Netflix, mate, about that guy who's actually, and it's so depressing that he's going. It's like some sort of guru going. I mean, I'm going to say one of those, those cult gurus, right? You should be with your twin flame. There's two people sitting there, my friend, absolutely depressed. And I've read a little bit about it. There's people, deleting because of it. They have to do. I've got this amazing life, mate. He's, if you look at chakra work, if you look at, say, balancing your body, being grounded, he's not grounded at all, mate. He's up here in the air, man. It's not
Mhm.
good. And this is the kind of things that you're exactly what you're saying and what we're trying to do, looking at the taking away I guess the mainstream thing of spirituality and really looking as we were talking about. You exactly the mirror with shadow work, and you're saying with regards to relationships, you look at exactly what you want, not what you can get. That's huge,
Yeah.
isn't it?
I mean, when you look at what you want, I mean, a lot of people need to understand what the term want means. Want, actually, the origin of the word means lack.
Oh, really? I
The
didn't know
word,
that.
yes, the origin of the word want means lack. It actually expanded a couple hundred years later to desire. So, want and desire mean lack and lacking. So, when you say you want a real deal relationship, you are actually admitting the truth that you are not in a legitimate relationship with self because you are lacking it. Now, I know with modern terminology that people are like, oh, I didn't really know it meant that. Therefore, I don't mean it. No, that's where we're wrong. Our subconscious mind only knows us. It knows nothing external.
Okay.
So when you say, I want this, your subconscious mind is going, hey, we lack this. Oh, crap. Maybe we need a coping
Wow.
mechanism
Actually,
or
mate.
a codependency or an addictive behavioral trait that creates a basic belief
Think
that
about
we
that, ladies and
can
gentlemen.
have that.
Mate, that I've never heard it put that way. But we always talk about words, energy, the things we say, really having an awareness of what we say, especially someone who's coming out of the shadow work where they've already got the programming. And we always say, I want now. Sarah, my friend, Sarah in Canada, she made this point a year ago about changing it to I attract, I love. Look at those words that we've changed compared to what you just said. Now listen to what you said about I want compared to I attract, I love, I embrace. How's that? Put those three words instead of want and see what you get.
Mhm. Or you can even take a bold step and be very powerful. Instead of saying, I attract, meaning that I have the capability of doing so,
Yep.
try these two words. It's done.
Wow. It's
As now completed, not in a future reference, not in a hypothetical scenario. If you say it's done, you are not thinking it, you are commanding it to be so.
So how would you put it in? How would you write? If so, I know a lot of. I'm a big journaler, my friend, and I love writing things down. How would you script something like that? It's done. How would you script we'll call it an affirmation for that, for use of a better word. People like to journal, and I always tell people to journal. Well, how would you write that? Would you write something like, I don't, I don't know. I don't know. Say something like, I'm just trying to structure it to the way it's saying. Body,
Well, pick a topic.
my body is healthy. It's done. Say hypothetically, how would you go with that?
Well, I mean, like they get a concept, it's done. That is present tense.
Yeah, that's
It
exactly
means
right.
it's already here, it's not over here, and it's not yet past tense. Because when you say it was done, that's past tense. When you say it is done, you are being in a present moment. Now, me, I injured my back last Sunday, a week ago. Okay, I am upright, I am mobile, I am moving. Every single day, all I say is, I am thankful and grateful. I am not healing, but I am healed.
I am
It's
thankful.
done.
I'm thankful and grateful. I am healed. That's great.
I don't say healing, I say healed, as in present moment, it is done.
Freaking heck,
And
that's great.
every day I've been able to function throughout the whole entire day because I commanded myself to be healed.
Wow, mate.
So
If we get anything out of this, sorry, mate. Sorry about that.
my body's functioning more than it is capable of doing because I commanded it to be healed to function every day.
I've written that down. I've Okay. See how I get on a chat with this bloke, and you get something out of it every single time. This is why I've got him. Amazing, mate. Amazing. So when you see people, do you what is the process for you? We might as well go through it because we're both in the, I call it the mentoring game, and we know it's been bloody commercialized. We're just here to help people. It's I mean, you agree. We've had this discussion before where this is, and I talked to Greg Riley about it as well. People aren't doing the inner work, and this is where we're at now. People like yourself, me, Greg Riley, Sarah, Diana, we've all done that inner work when it wasn't cool to say these kind of things. Let's be honest.
Yep.
Now people are starting to work out and become aware. And I'm meeting a lot more people going, hang on a minute. So saying what you've said, what do you do with your people? You say what's your step by step, well, rough process to get to a point where you can write this? Do you get them to write this straight away, my friend, or
Oh, you know me, I'm blunt right off the rip. So
bang?
I give people work and their minds churning after day one during a session,
Fantastic. Love
or
it.
when I do a group public speaking. And that's for a reason, okay? I want to backtrack to what we mentioned before. Mainstream. You are not going to find the answers through mainstream and mainstream coaches. You're not going to find it. And I'll give you a prime example. The Secret, Law of
Oh,
Attraction.
let's go. I can't wait for this.
All right. The Secret, Law of Attraction. Know what, quote unquote, from them. Know what you want, believe in what you want, and it will be yours. It has no possibility that it cannot manifest for you. All right, that's the theme of Law of Attraction and The Secret. Even the movie, The
Yep.
Secret, if you didn't read the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Now go back to the origin of the word want. It means lack, lacking. So anytime you say, I want all my bills paid and to be abundant financially, you are literally commanding to lack the very thing you are trying to get.
Wow. That is, mate. I
That's
tell
the
you.
reason
Wow.
why
Wow.
all this time, over a decade later, people are still trying to figure out how to manifest, but yet everybody that wrote that, everybody that's a part of it, everybody that's affiliated with it are multimillionaires. You pay them for your own lacking of success.
It's funny with that. It's funny with that one there because I wrote when I started my journey. I wrote I want, but I got out of it. I am grateful for. I started changing my mindset to look at myself instead of wanting. Oh, I want to be. I am like this. No, you're not. Am. You are like this right now. Yeah, and the word "it's done." My body is happy and healthy. It's done. That's such a simple thing, but then you can believe that. That's Mate, as I said to you, come on, mate, go and speak to this bloke here, mate. Seriously, every time I speak to him, I get something out of it. I was listening to our chat a couple of like 2 years ago. I think it was a year or two ago, and it's on Spotify at the moment under Anu Nnaki and under Journey of a Whitefeather, and also chat with Jay, and some of the things he was saying then with regards to coaching people and the way that spirituality has really been taken the wrong way. I'll give you a scenario. Here you go. How's this one? This is for my mentor, and we're all on the same level, the three of us. He reckons basically what's happening with everyone trying to find happiness. Now what's the key word there? Try, and as you know, people going to psychics to find happiness. They can't find happiness if they can't find happiness within themselves. And the problem is they don't have an understanding of basic human psychology, which we've all got going through the traumas that we have been through, and understanding exactly what you're saying and where we can go from our programming, understanding shadow work, understanding these basic spiritual concepts that have been taunted in a lot of ways. What do you think about that idea now? There's a lot of people actually stepping back, and not to say, look, I believe in them, right? No problem. I'm going to tell you straight up. All that stuff there is absolutely there. But the concept that we're trying to do is actually go back, and as we're talking about, is go back to yourself. How do you feel about that?
All right. Well, actually, I think that hits the nail directly on the head. Now, happiness, during anything external that could give you happiness, because happiness is a state of being. It is a frequency and vibration that you are projecting out, but you are also feeling. You cannot receive someone's happiness. You can only experience the frequencies of vibrations that their state of being is omitting for you to receive. And that goes the same with you. Your children don't make you happy. Your perception and perspective of your children make you happy. Your perception and perspective of how you are in your state of being is what projects happiness to them.
Do you think sorry, keep going. Sorry, mate. Keep going. Sorry.
Everything is internal. Happiness, like if I look at entrepreneurs, prime example, you've heard me say this one before. Entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs have just a high suicide rate as teenage kids.
No, really.
So does money provide happiness? No. Your state of being does.
It's amazing what you say, mate, because when you actually, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, once you actually turn and understand this, and this is where people, and we're quite happy to say we're coaches or whatever you want to call us. I don't care. We've got the PhD in life. We've been through this stuff. Not to put down anyone like, psychologists, or that they're doing a great job for the community. Don't get me wrong. But we don't have to disregard people like us who have gone through the hard times. We've gone through these things that we understand people are starting to understand shadow work now. They go talk to me about shadow work. What the hell is that? Right. I go there and bang, bang, and I've got so many people like yourself, Diana. We've all done it. We all get it because we've stepped away. One thing you look at everyone's trying to make a fortune or whatever, they're trying to be happy. But the key word he's saying, ladies and gentlemen, is happiness within yourself. But you're not going to get that happiness unless you go and hit the shadow and hit the mirror of yourself to find that inner love within yourself. Are you actually in your mind or in your heart? That's the first thing I ask people myself. I'm in my heart, really? Okay, let's find out. And I've got a series of questions which I'll send to you, mate, which I like your opinion on, which I did with Greg. And, mate, it made me think. I'll tell you what. Keep going with that side of things, my friend. So you go with your coaching with the way that people are waking up. What have you found the trends happening in the world? Because I know you got your finger on the pulse here. What have you felt a big shift at the moment, mate, my friend, or have you? What have you found in the last, say, since the Pokeroo lockdown? Have you found a bit of more of an awareness, or the people you're talking to?
Actually, to be straight up, I'm going to say there's a lot of stagnant, a lot of stationary.
Okay.
And here's the reason. More and more people are becoming aware. More and more people are researching and becoming aware of most of these fascinating things that are a first time they're getting to know, which has actually been around for like thousands of years and
Yeah.
all public the entire time.
Exactly. Yeah.
But regardless of the fact, I'm grateful people are becoming aware.
Yes.
But as a great movie, The Matrix, there's a difference between knowing the path and walking the path. At some point
Absolutely.
in time, healing has to become healed. Knowing has to become doing. Becoming has to become simply be. At some point in time, action needs to speak louder than words.
Do you think, right? Here's a concept for you, and I know I did it when I was younger because I knew my shadow was overpowering me a lot. Do you think people live in the what's the word? Live in the feeling of success instead of actually walking the path of success? I asked a couple of people, they go, that's a very interesting concept. Because I said, look, I used to live in, and people ask me, am I fearing success? I go, I had to actually think about it. In some ways, I was. Because what it was, I wasn't actually looking within myself, the shadow of where I was, and did I have success? Why haven't I got that mentality of you got this energy to get yourself to a point, but then you stop? Are you actually feeling like you're in your head going, oh, that's a great feeling. This is great. I'll stick in this one. I don't want to lose this feeling. Say a crush is a classic example, my friend. You got this crush and you suddenly go, oh, it's a nice feeling to have this crush on someone. But then when, you don't want to actually step forward and take that action as you're talking and make it reality because you just rather keep it in that mind because you don't want the disappointment. What do you think about that concept in this day and age? Do you think a lot of people are doing those kind of things?
I would actually say probably a few billion people on the planet do that every single day. Now, what a lot of people don't understand with what you're talking about is it can become an addiction through low level, constant dopamine releases of instant gratification to learn and gain knowledge. So the concept of something becomes more appealing than applying the actual work. And
Amazing.
that is on a biological level of dopamine release addictions. You get a quick high, you feel great. It depletes about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes later. You are seeking that next bar. But the more you seek throughout the day, when you wake up in the morning, you're at a higher level of dopamine release that has to be satisfied to match what you went to bed receiving.
Mm.
And some people, that bar gets pretty high. So it becomes an addiction to constantly learn, to constantly adapt. I mean, let's be honest, the spiritual community today is more of a coping mechanism than it is growth.
Well, that's what Greg said. I mean, it's like as I said, I believe in it all, mate. Because I've got my theories on where everything is. I believe we're part of the earth. We're mammals. We're part of the earth. You know, there's energetical fields everywhere. I do believe in connection to spirit. I do believe in guides. I do believe in all that. But to connect to that correctly is to do the work on yourself, and that's what I
Yes.
learned. And I'll be honest with you, it only took me. And we've got 10 minutes left too, mate. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we'll do is just to let you know, we'll have part one going through very soon, and then we'll come back and do another one because I love talking to this bloke, seriously. But do you think, in a way, what you've been saying, do you think people are waking up to those concepts, or do you think it's time for people like you, me, Greg Riley, Diana, and all that who have actually, we've gone through the forest of fear, let's be honest, the last 3 or 4, maybe 5 years when we had a spiritual breakdown. We're understanding the concepts. Where do you think society is at this stage with what you just said?
All right. Well, for somebody who actually predicted 2020 almost down to the T in 2019, I'm going to flat out say after the solar eclipse on April 8th, the energies that have been present to make shadow work simple, to discipline ego, very simple, to heal almost instantly almost all traumas that you've been transpiring through by rewiring your neural network. All that energy has been around since the Mayan calendar ended in 2012, and that is going to end. It is going into a new wave of energy. So if you keep waking up 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and you don't know what's transpiring, it's a hello. Use the energy that is surrounding you now, or else you're going to have difficulties when the new upgraded information of energy comes in. And I say that's very important for people to understand, because there is a concept that has been around since the 90s, and it's called left behind.
Okay.
If you don't do the action, by the time the new energies, they're already beginning to roll in now. They're not running full steam and completely here yet, but they will this year. When they come in, that simplicity to reset your entire self will be 5 times more difficult to do.
I reckon personally, I agree with you, because I have the concept of people being aware and people living within their ego. And I think the people with their ego haven't walked the walk and just think they don't really gather the concept as much. And they think we're all crazy back about 3 or 4 years ago. But there's a lot of people coming around going, hang on, what's going on here? And the thing is with it, my friend, is I can feel the energy within us really growing. We're actually embracing, I'll call it the 5D just for use of a better word, you know? So we're elevating. We're getting up at 3 or 4 in the morning, having these visions, having visions every night. We're having all that. We're talking stuff that people go, oh, this is grouse. We're doing all this. But there's a bloody process going through, mate. There's a big process of understanding these concepts, understanding how shadow work, understanding the mind. It's not being a psychologist. It's next level spirituality, which we've done, which are concepts, as you said, have been around for friggin' donkey's years. But we've been disconnected for so long and been really trying to disconnect ourselves from the earth and the universe, if you want to put it that way, to understand exactly what this is always. And a lot of the community that I hang around with now, talking to someone like yourself or anyone, I've got Colleen, another lady in Vancouver, anyone that I come in contact with now is awake and well awake. What do you feel about that?
I actually agree with it. I think it's time.
That's a good
There
one.
there isn't a shift that's transpiring in humanity. It's shifted. And more people are stepping into their purpose, their passions, their desires, their goals, their hobbies, their dreams. They're creating businesses, they're creating communities and getting like-minded people to join those communities, and they're branching out and creating communities. It is a paradigm shift. The powers that be are desperate because the enslaved ones are actually applying work. They're becoming more. And that's very important. Now, with your permission, I'd like to give everybody the secret to shadow work absolutely for free right now on your show.
There you go. Go for it.
Okay. Anybody dealing with shadow work, you got to really understand the core basic of shadow work. Okay. It's not about healing. It's about realizing that you, on a biological scale, is already healed. You're already healed. You are not reliving any trauma other than what's in your mind. That is where the core of shadow work needs to transpire. You got to understand your repetition of thoughts, behaviors, and actions, reactions, coping mechanisms, codependencies, and triggers. You don't need to heal emotionally. You don't need to heal on a physical or a physiological scale, not even on an energetic level, because your cells have already healed. Your DNA replicates every 2 months. So you've already been healed and over that. It's the mind that hasn't caught on to the fact. So you got to become aware of your own installed programming.
The mirror.
Why you turn to that coping mechanism. Why you turn to that codependency. Why you do what you do, and you can't point the finger at anybody else except for your own mirror, your
That's
own reflection.
and he's exactly right. When I work with the shadow, I actually look into people. I don't look at the traumas and stuff. The traumas are the triggers and the outpour of it. What is the programming within that? How did it all happen? Right. This is all in the mind. Get back into your heart. So but people don't know how to do this. They think I've got to heal the trauma. You got the reaction there. That's fine. But you know, you got to look at the program where it's running and affecting your life. And then was one time I did it. And and actually, when I actually went and did it, I go, that is the purpose of shadow work, exactly what he was saying, and it's fantastic. We've got about 2 minutes to go. Do you want to give us a quick rundown where we can find you? And we're going to have you back in a couple of weeks. And thank you so much for taking the time. I'm very very grateful. Well, I really am. I'm very grateful to know you, to have you as a friend, and thank you so much for taking the time to come on because I think it's important. You've got a lot of important messages to tell the world.
Oh, I could be on for a couple more minutes. I'd say maybe about 10 minutes. But
I've got about 3 minutes on this part of the Zoom meeting, so I have to reboot it afterwards. That's how it works.
Okay.
So
well, where people can reach me is Facebook. It's Anu Nnaki. It's very easy to find. And my Facebook is basically like an open blog. It's either a couple videos here and there. It's a lot of memes where I write, and it's a lot of open discussions. And pretty soon, I'm going to be having a couple seminars that are going to be live, where I am going to be speaking to bulk groups. And when I have those set up and the dates going, I'm definitely sending you a link, and you and everybody else on Life Theories, can join absolutely for free.
Oh, mate, look, I could talk to this bloke forever. And as I said, the way Zoom works, we've got two parts. So this is a 40. We do it in 40 minutes because it's easier for me to edit. But we're going to do part 2 in a couple of weeks' time. Mr. Anu Nnaki, it's an absolute pleasure. And every time I watch Disney, I think of you. It's not a bad way, but I think of you. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the day he came up with this Disney thing, I think it was the first thing he said when we had our first Life Theories chat. I go, hang on, this guy knows what he's talking about, eh? So thank you so much for coming on the show, and just you're an amazing individual with some amazing theories in life. I mean, and with people like yourself, and we can spread the word about what you do and what we do as a community, and looking at really trying to heal the world and get us connected to ourselves and the earth and the universe. And I think that's basically how it all works, and get out of this bloody matrix, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, collective consciousness, you got to get the consciousness there collectively in order to use it. And that is what we're all here to try to do. Everyone wants to break free from the matrix. Well, guess what? You got to understand what your role is in it first in order to leave it.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Anu Nnaki. I'm grateful. Namaste to you. Ladies and gentlemen, I say goodbye for now. But I always say goodbye, as I say to Jackie and myself. We'll have a great individual one, Brett the Hitman Hart. We always say goodbye this way. We always say get up in the morning, be the best there is, best there was, and the best there ever will be. Thank you so much. This has been a chat with Joe and Mr. Anu Nnaki. Let's speak soon. And remember, just be the best thing you can. And remember, it's always done. Be in the present. We'll talk soon. Thank you so much, and we'll speak to you soon.